Reminder, you can watch it all on Discovery Plus, including a very intriguing matchup between Anton Kazakov of Ukraine and Iran's Hossein Vafai on table 2. Aaron Hill is playing Dylan Emery. And of course later Stan Moody will take to table 1 against Gary Wilson. That should be a fascinating match, given that Moody has just scored his first 2 wins as a professional. There's Robbie Williams. Clearly he has a big task on his hands today, but I'm sure he'll be relishing it. They've only played once before, and that was way back in 2017, the Riga Masters, over the best of 7, as this is, of course. Williams of the Mark variety won that day, 4-2.
Thank you. The first frame. Robbie Williams to break.
It's Mark against Robbie Williams for a place in round 3 of the Northern Ireland Open. First of 4 frames to go through. An inauspicious start from Robbie. Not the best break-off, but looks as though he's got away with it. Good afternoon, Joe Johnson.
Yeah, good afternoon, Philip, everybody. He has got away with it. He's brought the red down the table. It happens quite a bit, that, bringing the red down. And you've got to be a little fortunate to have covered it, which he was. Yeah, very good player, Robbie Williams. He has made a 144 break in tournament play. He's beaten some good players as well. Beaten Ding Junhui, John Higgins. So he's a dangerous player, and I'm sure Mark Williams won't take him lightly. So, great long potter normally, and this looks like a free go. Can only leave the red he's playing on. Close. Nicely on the black, had it gone in. And as I said, he could only leave the red he's playing on, and it looks like he has left a chance at this red for Robbie Williams.
Who's made a strong start to this season. He's won 9 matches already. Made the last 32 the European Masters, and that's a nice opening red. And also the British Open, made the winners group in the Championship League, the first ranking event of the season.
Yes, he also beat Judd Trump at one stage, 2019 China Open.
4.
So certainly not to be taken lightly. He could have done with being a little bit straighter on this red to the left corner. It's a dangerous red to take on if he does. Yeah, and because he hasn't got good position, playing the safety. Always nice to listen to great players talking about snooker, and it was great advice that Mark Williams gave, I thought. Youngsters coming up through the game, try and enjoy it, go for your shots. Worst thing that can happen is you lose. But there's always another tournament, and as we were saying a moment ago, fantastic long ball potter, and that was a terrific shot. Love to see him taking those on, and of course getting them. Close to dead under the baulk cushion. He just slots it in, nice as you please.
He beat new pro Liam Pullum from Yorkshire in his opening match. And of course, this tournament has very happy memories for Williams. He won it back in 2017 in a very tight final with Yan Bingtao. He won in a decider, having been 1 down with 2 to play, and that set him on the path to his 3rd World Championship the following spring.
4.
In that extraordinary match with a fellow great from 1992, John Higgins.
Yeah, I remember that match against Yan Bingtao. And to be honest, I think we both did that match, Philip, and to be honest, I just do not know how we won it. Yan Bingtao was playing absolutely superbly, but he raised his game to another level. He was one 1 down or 2 down with 2 to play. I know he had to win the last 2. And my word, didn't he play well?
Andres Santos is our referee for this match. He had his first taste of a ranking event match a couple of days ago.
10.
Yeah, Williams has often been able to emerge the victor even when he's not been at his best. I recall when he won one of his titles in China against Dave Gilbert. He was 4 down with 5 to play and emerged on the right side of things. And a lot of that, of course, is down to his coolness under pressure. The fact that he doesn't dwell on defeats. Of course, it helps when you've got a CV as good as his. Got nothing left to prove in the game.
Yeah, and it also helps to be as good as he is.
18.
Certainly got great belief. Now, he can pot that. What he's looking at is, is he going to get a cannon on the red? Well, he's looking at that red that's to the left of the pack of reds there, but he doesn't need to concentrate on that red. The other red just to the left of the cue ball will go into the left corner. So if there's any doubt, he could play for that. He thinks it goes. And he's got nicely on it. He looks to be cueing well already. You can always tell when a player's playing well. He gets the cue ball where he wants. Well, it looks like it will go pretty easily, this red, but he's right behind the shot and he's given it a really good long look. And in it goes.
27.
And a nice angle on the black to run through the 2 cushions. Now, I think this is the last loose red, although there are 2 reds that will go to the middles. He might leave an angle here to go into them.
5.
And that's just what he's done. He could play a gentle cannon to the reds and leave the red to the right corner, push one towards the middle. That's an option. And that's what he's played. Great shot. Choice of 2 reds, the way he played the shot. And when he pots this red to the right corner, it opens the way for another red to the left corner. Things are looking good.
43.
And Robbie Williams has done nothing wrong. In fact, he had
played
Williams on the ball cushion, didn't he?
He played a great safety, didn't he? What more can you do? Play the cue ball tight under the cushion. The red wasn't over the pocket, by the way. Nothing wrong, as you say, Philip. He is going to need one of those reds in the cluster, though. He's looking at a possible plant. So choice whether to go into the pack, play for the red to the middle, or play for the plant. Decided to go into them. And he's got one to the right middle. Didn't get any applause there, but it was a good bust and could have finished on something easier.
Pretty rare for Williams to take this long over a shot, but it just indicates the difficulty in both the reds that he could be taking on, because he's hampered very close to the red above the black. And very aware that the frame is far from one. In fact, the table is very presentable for an effective counter from Robbie Williams, so he needs to take care, even though he's 54 in front.
Well, he's addressed this red twice to this right corner pocket, but I think he's finally made his mind up. This is difficult though, hampered over the red, distance between the balls. And as Philip said, they're all there for the taking, should he miss. And he came very close to missing, and in it goes.
59.
Caught that near angle. Needs another red. Should see him safe. And you could say that the red that he potted at the start of this break was a red that deserved to win a frame. And barring snookers, that's what's going to happen.
65.
One snooker required, a little closer to the cushion than he wanted, but he'll feel he's done his job if this black goes in.
Became the second oldest winner of a ranking event after Ray Reardon in claiming the British Open this season. He turns 49 in the spring. Reardon was 50 when he beat Jimmy White in the Professional Players Tournament way back in 1982.
72.
But this has been a terrific break, launched by that superb long red from tight under the baulk rail. And that's the one consolation for Robbie Williams, that he did nothing wrong. In fact, he did plenty right, but hasn't made any difference. That's the cruelty of this game.
Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball there to come back down for this red.
78.
And like most great players, which he is, he starts off with a big break. More often than not, a century break in the opening frame. And I'm sure if you look at the records, you'll see how many times the great players have started off with a century.
Yeah, and I think he's a bit more keen to make them these days than at one stage in his career, when, as long as he got past the winning post, he wasn't that bothered.
What about that for a positional shot? That brought a round of applause.
36.
Super shot that was, screwing all the way across the table.
87.
Stands at 9th on the all-time list with 611. But he could have had many more than that had he had the same thirst, the same hunger for century breaks as his great mate Stephen Hendry, and indeed
93.
Neil Robertson.
94.
Well, the black would make absolutely sure of the century, but he wants to get them all. So playing the pink, which means he's got a chance of making a total clearance.
It's his 23rd century already
100.
this season.
102.
Only Judd Trump has more than that. Incredibly, Trump has now made 34. This is only the 5th ranking event of the campaign. But what a break. He had that slight moment of concern when he landed awkwardly, took his time to select his red, managed to wriggle it in.
And a nice little kiss.
114.
Well, it was a fancy way to get to the pink and a fancy way to get to the black.
120. Mark Williams, 120.
He misses the black, but that's a fabulous start from Mark Williams. A superbly crafted break of 120, launched by a superb red. Robbie Williams did nothing wrong, and yet he trails by a frame to nil.
Ready to experience track racing like never before? Thought so. It's time to race. It's fast. It's fierce. And it's all at your fingertips. Know when a rider is attacking. Know when a rider is giving their all.
Experience track racing like never before.
So when they clip in, you connect.
Powered by AWS.
There can be only one. There's only one king. One goat. One hedgehog. Oh, nice wall, Jim. But there's only one great one. And finally, only one biscuit. The true original. And one person to tell you about it. Me, Trevor McDonald.
Actually, it's Sir Trevor McDonald. And I'll take it from here.
McVitie's. True originals.
Let customers pay quickly with online invoice payments in Xero.
Yes.
To keep your cash flow flowing, search Xero with an X.
You can do this.
Breathe.
Timing is everything.
Perform better on Sundays. Get half-price electricity, 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. with Peak Save from British Gas.
Unlock your winter stay today and spread the cost with flexible monthly payments. Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust.
I'll have a chicken royale, please.
Only $2.99.
There's certainly an international feel about proceedings this afternoon here in Belfast. Here on table 1, Wales against England. Table 2, Ukraine against Iran. Table 3, England against Wales. And then later, Estonia against China. Andres Petrov, who of course beat Mark Allen, the defending champion, against Jing Zihao. But it's Mark Williams who's made a great start here, and he'll be pretty happy with that break-off as well. 120 clearance. Robbie Williams under early pressure.
Yeah, the players don't play the cue ball to there for obvious reasons. You know, if they miss the snooker, they can get their hand on the tail and play the long red. So they don't play it there, and the reason it gets there is because they very nearly hit the blue. Things not going Robbie's way at the moment.
Yes, he played a very respectable safety shot in the previous frame, proved to be his last.
Well, he's hit a red, and he's very fortunate, really, not to have left one on. A very fancy way of getting out of the snooker.
Bit too much action on the cue ball.
Foul and a miss. Robbie Williams, 4.
No.
Look for the back.
No, stay up. Can it bend now?
Yeah.
Can it this one?
This way, yeah.
Can it this one?
Yeah.
Put that down. No, correct.
Yeah.
I can hit this. I can hit this.
Can you bring it up?
I can hit all that. I can't hit the vent.
Yeah.
Alex Crissaut is the marker, so he can assist here if required to get the cue ball exactly where it was. There's the still frame.
Yeah, one is that he couldn't see the red to the left of the pink. He needs to come back a touch more.
More.
More?
Yeah, towards me.
Well, that's the opposite way. I don't know what screen the marker's looking at.
Towards the cushion, please.
Oh, he's got it now.
More.
Keep going back.
More. Keep going. More. More.
I don't know what he's looking at there. It needs to go towards the baulk cushion.
It's too much. Towards
A
me.
bit this way, yeah, okay.
Well, you can see how far out he is there.
More towards the cushion. More,
The
more,
baulk
more,
cushion,
more.
that is. The baulk cushion.
Closer to the cushion, towards you.
Quite a bit closer. At least a couple of ball widths.
Just
More,
more
yeah?
towards you,
Okay.
yeah. More.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Towards you, towards you.
That's the way. A little bit more. You want to say fire, don't
More,
you?
more, more. Go on. Yeah.
Needs to go
Yeah,
slightly
that's
to
it.
the left as well, doesn't it?
Yep.
A touch.
Free tap.
A touch to your left.
You can hit
Yeah,
this
I
one.
mean, this is taking
I can't hit
longer
any
than
of
it
them.
should,
Yeah, I
really.
can hit 3 of them now.
Let's be honest.
Just put it where I see. Let me do it. I can't touch it, can I?
No, yeah.
Put it.
Yeah, I'll do what it is. Yeah.
I check that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, just do yours.
Yep, he's dead right, you know, Mark Williams. Needs to go to the left a bit. That's it. We're nearly there.
That's not.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
This one, I can't
Yeah,
check.
sure, yeah.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So, belatedly, take 2 Williams. Mark Williams, that is.
And that's what he tried to do the first time round. And just swerved it a little bit too much.
Three and a half minutes between shots there for Williams. The crowds have certainly been getting value for money this week, haven't they, with a 1 a.m., a 1:48 a.m. finish between Mark Allen and Andres Petrov. Last night it was not long before midnight on table 1 in the match, extraordinary match between Robbie McGuigan and Anthony McGill, who won in a decider after being virtually out of the tournament, needing 3 snookers to tie it 3-1 down. Williams has missed again.
Foul and a miss.
Yeah, better to miss the
Robbie Williams,
ball.
4. Yep. Yeah, thank you.
Well, that saved us 3 minutes. Just caught it, otherwise he would have been warned. Well, certainly left a half chance here. Red to the right corner. Looks the more favourite to get that cue ball out of danger. Now, where's it all going to finish? I think he's left this on. So a chance for Robbie Williams. The balls are nice, gotta say.
Yes, he's had to be patient, having sat out that superb 120 break from Williams in the opening frame, finding himself snookered off Williams' break off at the start of this one, but now an opportunity for him to get his arm going. Made the semi-finals of the British Open last season. Lost out to eventual champion Ryan Day in a decider.
Well, that's not the best positional shot, Philip. He's a left-handed player, so he's going to need the rest. Well, he's a tall fella, so he might just be able to reach it. But the black not available to the right corner. That's a good recovery, though. Pink's available if he's not far enough for the blue. Would have liked to have just travelled another couple of inches. Yeah, they're good pots when you've been frozen out.
Ten.
Now, if you could come down for the red next to the black, or even the red that's closest to the right corner. Well, that's okay if the black goes.
16.
He first turned pro in 2012 via Q School. He's never fallen off the tour, and that's impressive. A lot of players who've gone on to do big things in the game have found it hard initially to make the transition from the amateur to the pro ranks and have slipped off the tour before returning, but Williams has always been able to retain his place. His highest ranking is 46, achieved earlier this year. He plays here at world number 51. But as Joe mentioned, he's scored some big wins. Judd Trump, John Higgins. And 3 ranking semi-final appearances in all. Made the last 4 of the Indian Open in New Delhi back in 2013, and also the shootout last year. So he knows what it takes to get to the sharp end of some big events.
Well, he was looking concerned there because the black is very tight now going into that left corner. Now you can see it's very tight, tight enough for him not to play for the black anyway. Now he's got a choice to make. Does it come down and try and play for that red next to the black, or bust them open? And that's the answer. That second flick on the red didn't do him any favours at all.
30.
I don't think it would have been too bad without that little flick there on the red. Brilliant shot.
31.
That's an absolutely brilliant recovery. Now winning the frame here. He's opened that pack of reds. Should reap the rewards here. If he's on this red next to the black, that's another great positional shot. That really opens things up, although he didn't need to play for it because he could have concentrated on the pink and blue. Now, does he play for that red next to the black? And he has done. I think I'd have left it alone, but if he's got good position on this red, so he can get to the black or pink.
43.
No, he's absolutely spot on there. Well, this is a good response from Robbie Williams. From what happened in the first frame, did nothing wrong. Left the cue ball on the baulk cushion, lost the frame.
And I guess from a mental point of view, and so much of this game is played in the head, that's easier to take because you know you haven't lost the frame because of an error. You haven't been in and gifted your opponent a chance after doing the hard work and opening up the reds. You've just been outdone by a brilliant shot and a great break. So it's probably a little more straightforward to accept, even though the result's the same. But this is an excellent response.
Yeah, it just needs this black and one more red. And wouldn't you know it, if he hasn't come far enough, it's not going to be an easy red.
59.
Oh, he's okay. So just the red needed.
$60.
Just one snooker, and we've already seen enough evidence this week to show that one is often not enough. In some cases, 2 or 3. So a bit more work to do. But as mentioned, he started the season well. This is the long red that Williams took on and missed.
66.
And you could see he was annoyed. I mean, clearly it wasn't an easy shot from that distance. They're never straightforward, but given how good he is and the quality of the red he got in for the century in the first frame, he expected to get that, and it's proved expensive.
Well, wouldn't it be something to see Robbie make a century and we get back-to-back centuries from both players?
$73. $74.
Well, we said right at the beginning of this match that he can play, and now he's shown us he really can play.
$81.
That run to the semis of the British Open last season, he beat Ding, he beat Liu Haoshan, who's beaten O'Sullivan this season. Only lost by Ding. That was all that separated him from a first ranking final appearance. And he very nearly beat Jack Jones in World Championship qualifying. He lost in a decider there, and when you consider that Jones went on to beat Barry Hawkins, Ali Carter and Neil Robertson to get to the quarter-finals at the Crucible, that was a pretty good performance.
Williams, 87.
Shame that it wasn't a century, but it was an excellent response to sitting out the first frame to Mark Williams' 100 break. What a start to this match. Both players queuing beautifully, and it's one frame apiece. What a start to the afternoon's entertainment here on day 4 at the Northern Ireland Open in Belfast. Mark Williams with a superb break of 120 in the opening frame. Mr. Long Red in the second. In step Robbie Williams with an 87 for one each. The winner of this match will play Zhang Anda, who's been in great form, of course. Got to the final of the English Open, was 2 frames away from winning it against Judd Trump before that great comeback from Trump. He beat Rory Thor this morning by 4 frames to 1.
Well, he can get his hand on the table this time round. Yeah, and it's dangerous, isn't it? Not to leave that cue ball close to the cushion. I mean, even when he did leave it close to the cushion, he lost the frame. But this isn't an easy black. Looks high. Yep, never easy, those type of shots. Now, what's the damage, if anything? Had he potted the black, the cue ball would have travelled just a touch further for the red to the middle. No, couldn't have got any closer. Great attempt. Is he going to get the cover? Well, he's going Mark Williams' way here. We could be in for a re-rack here if he plays off the reds into the left side of the reds. Well, he's left. It's a risky out. I don't expect he'll play down the table safe with that red over the pocket. So as I say, it could be a re-rack this. They've got to give each other the luck. What about you? What about you? I will if you will. They haven't had the luck yet, have they?
And there is the look. So it took a while, but they've agreed that that frame isn't going anywhere with the red over the pocket. Obviously, both of them keen to make sure the other couldn't get to it. So we'll have another go. Just to bring you up to date with some other scores on this 4th afternoon. 2 other tables, of course, in use. Hossein Vafai took the opening frame against Anton Kazakov with a 80+ break. Very tight opening frame between Aaron Hill and Dylan Emery, which has gone down to the last couple of colours. And you can watch those matches on Discovery Plus. Later on, Stan Moody against Gary Wilson. Martin O'Donnell plays Chris Wakelin on table 2. And the man who stunned Mark Allen a couple of nights ago, well, a couple of mornings ago, actually. Andres Petrov plays Jing Zihao. Take 2 for frame 3. And again, Robbie Williams bringing a red up off the break. This time, though, he's left it.
Yeah, it's a thin one, But yeah, I'm with you. I think he's left it enough so he can pot it. And that cue ball needs to pull up a little. Just travelled a little too far for comfort. But he has got a red he could just play for. If he just drops the blue in, he'd have a red to the left corner. Just avoided the hamper on the yellow. And he could play the cannon to the red next to the black here. Doesn't have to, but that's an option. Good pot.
7.
They know each other's game. They have played each other once before in a best of 7. But it's 6 years ago. Plenty of time to have forgotten about that, Robbie Williams.
10.
Yes, I think the underdog today would have been looking forward to this crack at one of the greats of the game.
11.
He has been playing well this season. I think he's made 1 or 2 adjustments off the table. He started biking to the practice club in good physical shape, and he's put together some consistent campaigns, so every reason to relish the opportunity to take on a player of Williams' magnitude in front of a big crowd, TV cameras and the like. And there's already been evidence of that with that excellent riposte in frame 2, 87 after Williams' 120.
Yeah, he tried to hold the cue ball, so he was playing the blue a little bit thicker than he wanted. Hence the miss on the blue. But from where the cue ball's landed, it's not an easy shot for Robbie Williams to take on. He's looking at a possible 4-ball plant, but it would be very, very risky to take on because the cue ball's going into the other reds with no guarantee of being on a colour, so I'll be surprised if he takes that on. That was a much safer bet and a good pot. And, well, he's just short of coming out of the baulk area for a colour.
Robbie Williams, 1.
And he could have played the snooker, obviously, but it was such a big target just to come off the cushion and land up into the reds. Tried to leave the cue ball dead on the cushion. And try and force his opponent to hit the reds a little bit thick or thin. Didn't really get the cue ball close enough to the cushion though.
Aaron Hill took that tight opening frame against Dylan Emery. Hill, of course, who beat Ronnie O'Sullivan in his debut pro season before dropping off the tour and getting straight back on. So he leads 1-0 on table 3. Made his first ranking quarter-final, Hill, out at the Wuhan Open a couple of weeks ago. A tournament that Mark Williams understandably opted to miss in the end because he was running on fumes, as he put it, fresh from his British Open triumph and then playing in the English Open where he made the round of 16. Well, he's had a result there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a couple of good touches, hasn't he?
Another excellent pot from Robbie Williams from distance.
Yeah, the kiss could have been kinder, couldn't it?
He's only missed 2 balls so far, and one of those was inconsequential at the end of his break of 87 in the previous frame, so he's started this match very well. Hossein Vafai has managed to double his lead on table 2 against Anton Kazakov. Very tight second frame that went to the wire, but Vafai has won it to move halfway to victory.
Yeah, it was a big target to try and get in behind.
Oh.
Yep, and that's a mistake. That had to be so thin to miss the pocket, the jaws of the pocket, and get that cue ball back down the table. It was just the paint that was required. So another chance for Robbie Williams. Yes, and that's a nice little cannon he's played there. I'm sure he meant to play that cannon and develop some more reds, which he's done. The black doesn't go to the right corner, the pink goes to the middle. Here's a little cannon again. It's just developed those 2 reds there below the pink. We screwed it by a long way, but still got the red behind the black to play for. Doesn't have to nudge them.
In 2010, he claimed the Paul Hunter English Amateur Open title, of course named in honour of the late 3-times Masters champion. 5-times Merseyside Open champion from where he hails. Very talented player.
Yeah, and that exercise that he's doing, It can certainly help the mind. You feel good about yourself quite a bit.
Yes, on the face of it, snooker obviously isn't a physical sport, but when you consider the mental energy that's invested in matches, particularly the long matches, the type you get at the World Championship, being fit can only help.
Yeah, it hasn't done Ronnie O'Sullivan any harm, has it?
Yeah, likewise, Neil Robertson and many others now paying a lot more attention to diet and fitness
51.
than perhaps was the case, Joe, dare I say it, back in your era?
Well, it certainly strengthened my right arm with all those pints. Yeah, you can think of John Higgins as well. Did a lot of spin classes, got some weight off. He was looking sharp and certainly helped him. So yeah, it's all good, positive stuff for Robbie Williams. Now, can he give these two reds a little nudge? He might. Yeah, it's too much. He may be able to screw off those two reds and go down for the pink. He'd like to have just run through for the black. Well, he took the risk.
40.
And it's worked out. He can see the black. That wasn't forced to have worked out. He could have easily got the cover there. 35 points the lead. So enough loose reds to win the frame at this visit. Didn't want to play for that red on the cushion, which was a natural, but it's a tough red.
47.
Two reds needed. Not quite straight enough to get to the black, so down for the pink. Must get the right side of it. And he's the wrong side. So unless he takes the blue. What a difference there. If he's straight on the red, he plays for the black, it's easy to play for the red. Just needs the red though. $49 points the difference, so Mark Williams needs at least two reds, two blacks, one pink. And he's potted a couple of those balls, hasn't he? Excellent pot. Frame-winning red.
His pot success at the moment is at 96%, or to put it another way, 45 out of 47, as mentioned. One of those was academic, so this is an excellent performance from Robbie Williams, who, lest we forget, didn't do anything wrong in the first frame. He played a good safety, and Williams cleared up from a long red. So an excellent display so far. Red-hot favourite now for 2-1.
Yeah, two snookers needed, with two blacks to win by 1 point.
Oh.
Everything that could go wrong there did for Williams, hitting the black and losing another red. So that's the end of that frame. And Mark Williams under a bit of pressure now. An excellent performance from Robbie Williams so far as he moves into a 2-1 lead. Dan Moody, a very exciting young Yorkshire professional who turned pro courtesy of winning the World Junior title. He plays Gary Wilson. Mark Williams then breaking off in frame 4. 2-1 down, first of 4 to go through. Now two marquee matches this evening on table 1. Sean Murphy against Sean O'Sullivan, who's made a maximum break this season already. And that'll be followed by Matt Selt against Jack Lazowski.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams 6. Back.
He wasn't far away the last time round. Twice across the table.
Mark, yeah.
A little too close to the red to play that red. Got to keep a close eye on this one. Could very easily be a push shot if he's going to play it.
I think that plan's been swiftly abandoned. Yeah, Sean Murphy the other night in that extraordinary match against Marco Fu declared a foul on himself for a push which directly cost him the frame. Of course, Murphy eventually won on the final black, which was unlikely in the end because it looked as though Marco was going to come through.
Yeah, what a great sportsman. Owning up to that possible push shot. I mean, he played it again and I didn't think he'd pushed it. Looked at it on the camera, it didn't appear as though he did, so it was very fair of Sean to call it on himself. Meanwhile, leaving that red over the pocket. It's swervable, this, if you can't hit it direct. Cushion first, slow, gets him nicely on the black. You can't see it enough. Yeah, well played. A little, but on the black. Well, expected to get that. Maybe he was looking at the cannon too much. These pockets are not playing big, I don't think, anyway. I've seen a few missed and stayed on the jaws of the pocket. So, chance for Mark Williams to hit straight back. Well, that could have been kinder, unless he can see the red to the middle.
8.
And he can't. Not without playing a little swerve. Very unfortunate there to have gone into the pack. Look at the reds. Oh, he's considering playing a little swerve, look. Very attacking shot to play. And swerve round it just a little bit too much. Hit too much of the red. Oh, what a chance. But he knew he was leaving lots of reds on if he missed that, and that added to the pressure of the shot. You expected him to pot that. He hasn't missed much today, Robbie Williams, but that could be an important miss.
Yeah, the black into this left corner just now, cutting it back, and now the red to leave Williams bang in. That could be costly for sure. His victory at the British Open in Cheltenham a few weeks ago ended a 2-year drought. His previous ranking title having come in the same event. Had a few near misses in the interim, of course, not least the Masters final against Judd Trump last season, which he lost 10-8.
15.
Now joint 5th in the all-time list of ranking event winners with Judd Trump on 25.
Maybe a little cannon here. No, decided to play for one of the loose reds.
$21.
Ireland's Aaron Hill has made a break of 94 to now lead the Welshman Dylan Emery by 2 frames to 0. Table 3.
Well, it just goes to show you, doesn't it? He attempted that little swerve to the red into the middle pocket, and you don't always get punished for being positive. And because he took that red on, he's back at the table more or less straight away with another frame-winning chance.
$57. $58.
Took the opportunity to develop those 2 reds. Another very attacking shot. He could have so easily played for the loose red.
54.
But those 2 reds needed attention. They didn't go. And now enough loose reds to win the frame.
45.
Well, you could see the pink there going towards the pocket, and it looked to me as though it was going left rather than right.
51.
And that's fooled a couple of people, this match table.
$52.
So just this pink needed. Good snooker this from both players. But I said at the time, that's a very important, could be a very important miss from Robbie Williams when he missed the red to the right corner.
58.
These should have been his, and he knows it.
59.
Could have and should have been 3-1.
Frame well and truly over, even though West there. Yes, he's missed very, very little, Robbie Williams, but the red would have opened up the table for him and possibly the chance of going 2 up with 3 to play as it is. It's going to be a best-of-3 frame match now.
In a frame.
64 more than enough for Mark Williams to level up proceedings. It is a high-quality match. We've had a sizable break in every frame, including a century from Mark. And it's tied up at 2 each. It's been a match of high quality so far. First up on table 1 this afternoon, Mark Williams and Robbie Williams both scoring well when given the chance, but Robbie Williams will be disappointed to have missed that red when the balls looked inviting. Sure enough, Williams took advantage to level up at 2-all with a break of 64. So 2 apiece, both needing 2 more to go through. Chang Anda awaiting the winner. Stan Moody and Gary Wilson to come next here on table 1.
Well, a rare long red miss from Mark Williams. Oh, that's a wonderful shot. He's certainly playing well, Robbie Williams. And Mark Williams was sat right behind the pocket. He knew that red was in as soon as Robbie had hit it.
Eight. Nine.
He's number 51 in the world, Robbie Williams, and he's not playing like that. He's playing like a top 16 player. Just shows you the standard that we've got in depth nowadays. Inch perfect with his positional play there.
19.
So instead of dwelling on that miss, that cost him dearly in the last frame, he looks to have put it out of his mind. Well, he could decide to give them a nudge here. That red above and to the left slightly of the black, if he could catch that one. Decided to play to the loose red to hold for this red to the left corner.
7.
Robbie Williams lost in the first round of this event last season. His best run at the Northern Ireland Open was the round of 16. That was back in 2018.
He wouldn't have that one over. Still got a couple of reds he could play for. Well, if he's feeling ultra positive, he could decide to go into the reds. Again, it's just about choice. Some players would take the 2 loose reds first. Mark Williams has already said that he likes to leave it to the last one. And some players, like Trump, like to get into them early. So, just about choice. Well, that's not the best positional shot he's ever played.
45.
He potted the black just a little bit thin, and that's why he's lost the cue ball. But he's been pretty good with this type of shot.
Robbie Williams, 35.
So a handy lead for Robbie Williams, but no more than that. Tricky one with the rest.
Doesn't get any better than that, does it? Terrific pot. The black doesn't go, but he tried to play for the pink. May have to take the blue. Absolutely super shot. Oh, didn't intend the kiss. He's hampered over the yellow, so he might catch these reds just a little bit too thick or thin. He could play the red nearest the pocket, just land up to it off the side cushion, or send the red down the table. Choice is his. He's got quite a few shots he could play.
Mark Williams, 7.
So does this red go to the far corner? He's having a good look at it. It wasn't a good safety, that, from Robbie Williams. He's even looking to pot it to the middle. Well, it doesn't look like it will. And don't forget, that pocket doesn't pull in. It goes absolutely true or even left. Now, we know this. But does Mark Williams? Well, that's certainly opened things up, and he's left a red on to the left middle. So it looks like it's going to be on this shot. If it goes in, every chance of winning the frame. Already with a 28-point lead. Yeah, good pot. He had to play it slowly to hold for a colour. And what a chance.
Well, he missed a couple in the previous frame, a black and then a red into the opposite corner pockets at the top end, but aside from that, he's looked very strong today.
Seven. Eight.
Well, he didn't want the kiss, but it's turned out okay. Although he's a left-handed player, so he's going to need the rest. Would have liked to have missed that red and just bounced off the cushion. Would have had a choice of red behind the pink, on that red which would have been further away from the cushion, the red that is playing. So 43 the difference. You could play for the red in the balk area this time round. Well, I decided to try and come back down the table, and if it keeps running, he's held his hand up. Very fortunate to have finished on that red.
Still 75 on the table, 48 the deficit.
Yeah, now a decision to make. Does he leave the black where it is? $49 points the difference. Big decision this, whether to bring the black off the cushion or push another colour safe.
Blue ball. Robbie Williams, 21.
Well, has he got the snooker? Tap on the table tells us he has.
Foul and miss. Mark Williams 4.
Yeah, important not to hit this too hard and leave the red on. He judged it well last time round. It was nearly touching the brown, wasn't it? That's too hard if he misses the red. But he caught it. So 45 points in the game.
That prolonged applause is for Ireland's Aaron Hill, who's seen off Dylan Emery of Wales by whitewash, so an excellent 4-0 win for Hill. And almost simultaneously, Hossein Vafai has done likewise to Ukraine's Anton Kazakov. So Vafai will now play Joe Perry, who equalled his best ever professional break in that terrific victory over Michael White, 145. They'll meet in round 3. Aaron Hill safely through as well. Coming up next on tables 2 and 3, Martin O'Donnell against Chris Wakelin, Andres Petrov, conqueror of Mark Allen, against Xing Zhihao. And Mark Williams looking to get back into contention in this frame to avoid falling 1 down with 2 to play.
Yeah, that's what he was looking at, bringing the black out. He didn't really want to bring the black out, and he's also nudged the blue out into potable position, or in easier potable position. Frame wide open now. Well, that could have turned out a lot worse, catching the red much too thin. But there's nothing easy there. This red down the cushion into the right corner. It's fraught with danger. But if it goes in, he's on the black or the pink. It's such difficult shots. He got close. Now, what's the damage? Yeah, well played. Lots of top spin on the cue ball there. Bring that cue ball round for the black and should win from here. 46 points the lead.
That pot was a lot harder than the camera angle suggested, wasn't it? And he hit it very cleanly. Didn't touch the sides.
Well, you can knock me down with a featherweight. Played for this red instead of the two reds close together. He had the angle just to stand out for those reds. This is difficult on these tables. Oh, clean. Absolutely clean. Now we know why he played for it. He's so confident.
Yeah, he's played exceptionally well. A couple of potting errors in the previous frame. It's been nigh on immaculate from Robbie Williams. And I think this sort of performance has been coming against the top player because he's been very consistent at the start of this season. He's feeling good about his game. He's seen one or two other big names fall by the wayside. And no doubt thought, well, why can't I do likewise? Yes, he's playing one of the all-time greats in Mark Williams, who's been in great form at the start of this season, but he's backed himself today that if his A game was there, he could compete. He's doing more than that. He's winning. Williams sitting in his chair, obviously still very much in the match, but now he's got to win the last two to avoid going out early.
Robbie Williams, 30 and a frame.
Only a 30 break, but a very important one from Robbie Williams, who now leads the 3 times world champion and former Northern Ireland Open champion Mark Williams by 3 frames to 2, 1 away from victory. Mark Williams, who's had a terrific start to the season, his 25th ranking title coming at the British Open, the 2nd oldest ranking event winner after the great Ray Reardon, is a little up against it now because he's playing a man who's not only 3-2 up, but Robbie Williams outstandingly well. In fact, he's well ahead in the pot success at 91% to Williams' 85.
Frame 6.
And he's made breaks of 87, 55 and a pair of 30 breaks to put himself 1 up with 2 to play as Mark Williams breaks off in frame 6. Still to come this afternoon on table 1, Stan Moody against the reigning Scottish Open champion Gary Wilson.
You know, we haven't had many long, protracted safety battles between these two so far.
Yes, the longest frame was the one just gone at 22.5 minutes. The average frame time, though, a pretty sprightly 15 minutes and 55 seconds.
Changed his mind on the shot there. First he was going for the pot, then he was going for the safety, just leaving the cue ball on the black cushion.
He started with that brilliant red that launched the 120 break from under the baulk rail in the opening frame. But actually, since then, Williams has been a little bit indifferent from distance, just 2 out of 7 in all, which is a low return for him.
Made a good 64 break in the 4th frame to level things up when it looked like Robbie Williams was going to go 3-1 up. Missed that red to the right corner, didn't he? Robbie Williams, that is.
Yes, and I think that's been one of the impressive features of this performance today, that first frame played a good safety and sat out the rest of the frame, but it didn't faze him. He hit back with 87, and then, as you say, missing that red could have hurt him, because he would have been thinking in his chair, I should be 3-1 up. Instead it's 2-all, but he's responded well again.
Excellent safety from Robbie Williams.
Andre Santos just having a look, and now so is Robbie Williams, in case Mark misses the edge of the red here.
Well, that saves all arguments. And that looks a better safety. Has it just come out? Yeah, he played that very well, coming off the cushion, just catching the red right.
Mark Williams is one of the cleverest players in the history of the game. He's got all bases covered exceptionally well, hasn't he? But Robbie Williams has more than competed in the safety as well today and has out-potted Williams to this point. Scored more points, has a better return in pot success, so you can't grumble with the scoreline. He deserves to be 3-2 up.
Well, there's a mistake. And Mark knows it. He walks back to his chair, leaving this red, easy red, to the left corner. He can just about see it, see enough of it. Well, he says shot, so maybe he can't see it. It looks like he can from this angle, but he's right behind the shot, and he doesn't think he can see enough of it. Well, that's not a good shot from Mark Williams, I'm afraid. Pushing that red too far over the table towards that right corner. He knows it. Oh, what a let-off. What a let-off. I was just about to say the black's tied up, but the pink and blue available, and then he misses that one. How important is that going to be? There could be a red that goes to the right corner here. We're playing the safety in case, but it's a chance and it's gone in. Now, does he take the brown or roll up behind the yellow?
Just tucking in behind the brown.
So it was neither of those then.
Hour and a half of match time. It's not been a slow match by any means, and it's been a match of high quality. Both players have scored well.
Yeah, now we're seeing some good safety, aren't we, from both players. Doesn't want to come far side.
Oh, and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
Now, will Mark Williams be tempted by that red middle? We've seen so many balls missed on that top angle this week.
Any sort of pace and they won't drop.
Well, they certainly won't turn into the pocket like they normally do. So another chance for Robbie Williams. A little heavy for the blue, but should be okay with the green.
Well, he's certainly earned an opportunity to close this match out because he's played exceptionally well in all departments today, Robbie Williams. He's come into this tournament with some good results already in the locker, not least qualifying for the upcoming International Championship in Tianjin in China. He beat Ben Mertens in his qualifier. The question now is, can he
Wasn't happy with the pace of the shot, but nothing easy left for Robbie there.
Reds invitingly spread.
Well, he could leave the cue ball on the black cushion because it's a danger to send the cue ball back towards the balk area. This could be good. This could be good. Played it well. Played it well, very well. Good safety from both players. Shorter pace this time. That was another good chance, although hampered over the yellow makes things difficult.
This is a critical safety exchange. It's been a very good quality one thus far. If Robbie Williams were to win it, then he'd have a chance to close out the match. Williams of the mark variety, looking to force a decider.
Well, he's played another terrific safety, hasn't he, there? There's a red right over the pocket. So he's got to be ultra careful here. Well, he couldn't have played that any better, could he? He was snookered, had to come off the cushion, catch the red thin. And my word, what a result. Well, the first one to get the cue ball in behind the brown looks to be the way forward. Oh, and that angle on the middle pocket has left Robbie Williams with a chance.
Not a great table at the moment, though, is it? With the black on the side cushion, the pink somewhat surrounded as well. So plenty to do before Robbie Williams can entertain thoughts of winning this match here.
Well, the yellow's hanging over the pocket, and that gives him a chance to get back to the reds. Well, this is going to be awkward queuing. Nicely played, and nicely on the blue.
He's looked very cool today, he really has. And when he has had one or two setbacks, or Mark Williams has done something special, as he did in the opening frame, he's not looked fazed by it. He's just got on with the job of playing his own game so far to great effect. Gonna have to work the cue ball in this break for the time being, though. Concentrate on the blue. Or one of the bought colours.
Or maybe not a colour at all. How has he overscrewed that by that much? So just the snooker, but that was a great chance to develop a decent break. And I don't think he's got the snooker, actually. Caught that middle pocket and bump again. But this is so risky to take on, this red to the right corner. I'd be surprised if he took this one on. I can't see a way through all those reds for the cue ball. So this is a big risk. I can't believe he's taking this on, but that's how confident he's feeling. Great pot. Very fortuitous kiss. Deserved it, you could say. Oh, that wasn't such a good shot, but still on the red to the left corner.
6.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on all of these shots, of course.
Another good pot, and this time perfectly onto the blue. Reds will go to the right corner if he just drops the blue in. Well, decided to stand down for the red to the middle, but not ideally on it.
12.
That used all the pocket. Well, had he been straight on this red,
18.
It would have been so easy just to leave the cue ball where the red is, take the pink to the middle. But he can't play that shot. He's just a little bit heavy. But still, another good pot. He's still going.
19.
29 points the lead. Found a nice path there through the reds. Doesn't want to be under the cushion. 32 points the difference. Yes, and playing that difficult red left him with an easier pink.
Been far from straightforward. The cue ball has had to be manoeuvred up and down the table. In play. Black's been out of commission throughout.
Oh, that's the worst position to be in. A little harder would have been an easy red. This is now a very difficult one. And there's only 39 points in the game and nothing safe except the black. Yeah, wonderful shot. That could be the winner. So, one more red needed, and he's on one.
This has been one of the better 34 breaks you'll see, particularly given the context and what it means for Robbie Williams on the cusp of a famous victory.
He never looked like missing, did he? Everything going in cleanly in the middle of the pockets. Take your hat off to Robbie Williams.
Extraordinary noise in the arena, and rightly just taking a step back because he'll want to make absolutely sure now. But this has got a rate as one of Robbie Williams' finest ever wins. He's been in 3 ranking semi-finals, including last season when he made the last 4 of the British Open and only missed out by 1 frame to eventual champion Ryan Day in the last 4. But the way in which he's played today, the fact that he's managed to shake off the disappointments, and Mark Williams has not played poorly by any stretch, he's played well. He's just been outplayed by the underdog. A really high quality match and a superb finish from Robbie Williams. It's not going to be the biggest break you've ever seen, but in terms of the quality and the time at which he's made it,
48.
Outstanding. All sorts going on in the arena. I think, in fact, a fire alarm has gone off. So Mark Williams has conceded. Another big name has fallen in Belfast. This time it's the 3 times world champion and reigning British Open champion Mark Williams. His namesake Robbie has played exceptionally well, and Robbie Williams goes through deservedly to round 3 by 4 frames to 2. What is it? In Belfast, we've got a fire alarm, we've had some outstanding snooker, and we've had yet another upset on this afternoon with Robbie